We want to welcome you back. In this next segment, we're going to look at the politics of this decision. You know, last year, Governor Brewer nixed a similar bill telling legislators not to send her bills until after a Medicaid expansion was passed. So what will she do this time around in these last few days? Jeremy Duda joins us now at the Arizona Capitol Times. And what are you seeing here?
Well, it's hard to say. You know, the governor has a very long-standing policy of not commenting on legislation until she's acted on, until she's signed or vetoed it. So she usually doesn't like to show her hand very much. She has maybe a little bit on this. You just mentioned the CNN interview. She said she's reading it, she's examining it, and we heard some of that on Friday. But she did say a few things on Friday in talking to CNN and some other camera crews. She mentioned that she felt like it was a very controversial bill. She also said that you know, she doesn't feel like anyone who owns a business should be forced to do business with people they don't want to, but she also said she doesn't know if that needs to be enshrined in statute.
So what do you think that meant the last time when she nixed it? Was that just, I'm just going to get out of it, or was that really about Medicaid expansion and getting something else done first?
Well, I think that was strictly about Medicaid expansion. Remember, that was one of, I think, 5 bills at the time. She had told the Senate, don't send me any more legislation until you send me the Medicaid bill. You know, they kind of pressed their luck on that. They sent her 5 bills, and she vetoed all 5 of them with the same veto letter, including SB1062, which is, you know, fairly similar to 1062. And I think, you know, that bill is funny that that bill did not get a lot of attention last year, and I think most people felt like it's something she probably would have signed had it not been sent over during this bill moratorium.
Yeah, no one even talked about it. No one even knew pretty much anything about it at that point.
Yeah, I really just remember it because it was part of that slew of vetoes during the bill moratorium.
Right, you didn't see anything like the protests we're seeing this time around.
No, now the circumstances definitely seem a lot different now, where you have so much pressure being put on the governor from people who wanted to veto it, from business groups like the Arizona and Greater Phoenix Chambers of Commerce, GPEC, large businesses, Apple, the Super Bowl host committee. The dynamics are definitely a lot different than they were last year.
Yeah, that's for sure. Jeremy, thank you so much.
I want to bring in Angela Huey now with One Community. And Angela, it's an election year. I think we've already seen some candidates weigh in on this. We have 3 gubernatorial candidates who just within the last couple of days, all strong Republicans, saying they want the governor to veto this. We have a candidate in the room right now, Senator Bob Melvin, who says he is in support of it. How does it play out, do you think, politically? People are pretty riled up at this point.
I think people will be riled up for the next 9 months. I think that you will see a very diverse, broad coalition of all of our emerging communities across party lines that will come together because we need to have a sensible group of folks down at the Capitol that represent the majority of Arizonans. You know, I'm seeing statements that Ms. Herod thinks that the gay community is bullying her right now. And quite frankly, I live in a state where my marriage is not recognized, where I can be fired simply for being gay. It is legal and lawful to discriminate against me in housing and in travel accommodations, except for the 3 cities that have implemented fully inclusive non-discrimination policies. This is a bill that is and a solution that is looking for a problem. Last year in the small business community nationwide, there was over 12 million lawsuits filed either for or against small businesses. 3 of them were had to do with the LGBT community. There's no need for this.
Let me ask you this question, because I think there's a lot of folks who kind of, especially within the Republican Party itself, who wonder if they could have a broader appeal and really need to have a broader appeal among Hispanics, among gays, among people that might vote on a conservative nature, but for right now call themselves independents because they can't get on board with the social conservative wing of the Republican Party.
Sure. Listen, I'm a court-fed Midwestern girl. I come from a long line of Republicans. I've voted for good Republican candidates, and it would not surprise me to do that in the future. But the bottom line is I will vote for a candidate that respects all Americans and all Arizonans. And I think that the Republican Party is at odds within itself right now. If it wants to be anything other than a marginalized party, then you're going to have to come to the middle of social issues. And obviously LGBT equality and same-sex marriage is a big hurdle for the Republican Party right now.
Angela, thank you.
Sure.
Senator Melvin, I know you want to get a chance to weigh in here. What are you seeing about this that disappoints you, that this is not in the design of what you wanted here?
Well, first of all, as the one candidate for governor, I support this bill. The rest have buckled under the media pressure and the marching and all that we've seen in the program today. But I wanted to mention about business. Because Arizona has balanced our budget, we are #1 in the country for business startups, Forbes magazine is projecting we're going to be #1 in job creation this year, and we're #8 in overall pro-business climate. So this is, again, a religious freedom bill. Business will thrive here as it started to with our balanced budget, and I believe we're well on our way to being one of the most prosperous states in the nation. I truly believe that.
Thank you, Senator Al Melvin. And when we come back, we're going to wrap things up, taking a look at what's next here and get some final thoughts from our panel.